All right, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel for another video. And in today's video, we're going to be covering more into this Toyota 4Runner. If you're new to the channel or just coming across this, make sure to subscribe for future content. If you do like this build right here, this is my 2002 Toyota 4Runner SR5 Sport Edition, 4-wheel drive, all the good stuff with it. I've done an extensive build basically over since last year when I got this at a factory level. Overall, probably my favorite build on the channel, even over the Mustang. So let's go ahead and hop right into this video. In today's video, we're going to be covering basically, is this thing the perfect family car in 2025? Let's see real quick if they're a BMW with a turbo. Yeah. All right, let's get back into the video. So is the third gen 4Runner the perfect family car in 2025, even though it's a smaller SUV compared to a lot of the Kias, even the newer 4Runners, the Ford Explorer, the Chevy Tahoe? When I think of a family car, that's what I think of, like a family SUV, something that has like a third row seating option. And let's be honest, the new Kias and the new Hyundais, they look really good, and they're more reliable than they used to be back in when this thing came out. When the Kia and the Hyundai were first coming out, most of their vehicles were kind of nicknamed, the throwaway vehicle. Once it hit near 100,000 miles, you kind of would see people get rid of those. You don't really see them on the roads that much. They remind me of like the old Saturns and stuff. You see some still going, but it's really rare. But I'm sure that there's a Kia, like a Kia Sportage or something out there from the early 2000s, like one of the white ones, still kicking and still going. But this right here is, when you think of a 4Runner, you think of ruggedness and reliability. And that's what I think of when I look at the third gen. It's, stood the test of time for the look. There's so much you can do aftermarket wise to these, but the reliability is the number one factor there. So when we're talking about a family vehicle, in my mind, I'm thinking maybe 2 kids max, probably young, but maybe like parents, you don't even have to have kids really. But something that like somebody and their partner could, comfortably get around, something that is reliable, doesn't cost a lot of money. If you don't want a car payment, you're basically just going to pay once. If you find a really clean one, you'll probably pay, what you might pay for like a down payment for one of these, like a brand new vehicle or something. So as the way that the car market is, newer 4Runners, even like new Cadillacs and, the Denali's from GMC, they're right up, like trucks are, basically a standard truck is $60,000 at this point. And if you want to go like to the highest trim level, you're probably going to spend at least a little over $100,000. So if you're looking for something that is small, reliable, but big enough, in my opinion, that's comfortable and has a lot of cargo room still, I think the 96 to 02 4Runner is something to look at. Don't mind the mess, but this is kind of just, I do have like just boxes and stuff back here, plenty of cargo space. If you come back to the back seats right here, depending on how tall you are, plenty of leg room. I've sat in the back of this vehicle before, have had zero issues. The headroom is very nice. The bucket seats are pretty comfortable for long drives. So I'll even, like I said, it is a mess. It is a daily driver. But see, I don't know. In my opinion, I think the styling is kind of there if you can still appreciate an older vehicle the way it looks. But there's plenty of room, plenty of door pockets. The reliability for the interior is there. If you like a 4-wheel drive option that still has where you can use it manually in a way, you have that. So probably the best 4-wheel drive vehicle SUV at the time, in my opinion. I know that they had the GMC Jimmy, the Chevy Blazer, you had the Ford Explorer. So all of those I'm sure were great, but I think the 4Runner was probably one of the best. I knew the Isuzu Rodeo at the time was super popular, / Honda Passport. You had the Nissan Pathfinder. All those, the 90s were definitely the, at that time, the car game was lending itself towards SUVs. So what you get engine-wise, I know a lot of people with SUVs, when you see them, they just get on it, soccer moms and stuff, and people that kind of just daily drive, you know, if like a company work vehicle, they might have the basic, you know, Tahoe or something, but they definitely get on it. You're not going to get anywhere with this. So if you're looking for something that you can just get on it and floor it and get to point A to point B super fast, this is not it. This only puts out over 180 horsepower with a 3.4 and maybe 220 foot-pounds of torque, from what I remember. So, but it is a reliable engine, and the gas mileage is another thing. Not there. The gas mileage from, let's see what the scan gauge has gathered. Now, I've only driven a little bit today, so yeah, 10 miles. Yesterday's average was about 14, almost 15, which is pretty good for a lifted 4Runner, honestly. So let's talk about the things that you can do with this. If you're looking for a family vehicle that, you know, you don't mind getting, you know, it gets messed up, I guess, you want to take it on adventures, or if you do say you want one that you keep it clean and stuff like this, like I try to do with mine, this is the best vehicle in my opinion for, you know, taking long trips, being able to go camping and stuff. A lot of people actually are set up camping tents on top of their, I guess if you want to call it a roof rack. So this is just a roof basket. So this is perfect for like going to the beach, going into mountains, like camping and stuff like that. So, but some people, as I'm talking about, actually set up their vehicles to where they have like the pop-up tent on top. So you can always do that. Really, as I said, really great off-roading vehicle. So, you know, with the perfect wheel and tire combo, or just, I guess, tire setup, I don't think you'd have any issues getting stuck whatsoever. So if you're looking for something like that, this is the perfect like weekender or just vehicle to kind of, you know, take the kids and, or, you know, you and your partner just go somewhere and, you know, go camping for a couple days. So you can hit the trails with this and with zero issue. I've done it. Now, as you see, there's a little snow here and there. So this is also the perfect vehicle to have like as a second family vehicle if you live in a cold climate like Colorado or something, or if you do live in a climate to where it does snow. Here in Virginia, we don't really get that much snow, but it does snow sometimes. And we probably had the most snow recently, and definitely the past couple, like 5 or 6 years. And SUVs are a big thing that people worry about in Virginia because a lot of people don't know how to drive. When the snow hits, the ice hits, people start to tend and freak out. This thing was cutting through it, no issue. I was even seeing, you know, there was a guy in my neighborhood one morning when I left a couple days ago, and his Dodge was having a struggling time to get up the hill. There was a work van that wrecked into somebody's yard, a Dodge Charger that was stuck. This thing cut right through, had zero issues. So if you're looking for a really capable vehicle for this type of climate and weather, 4Runners, you know, the 3rd gen, or at least a 4Runner is something to look at as well. Now, what you're getting with one of these, as I said, I've narrowed it down to pretty much, you know, still a lot of room in one of these. Perfect to park in the city, zero issues because I do drive through the city a lot. I'm able to maneuver and it's not big. Stands the test of time, holds its value. It's not fast, but it's reliable. Not so much, or there's not a lot of maintenance that has to go into these that are required, but it also, being an older vehicle, if you don't know what you're getting into, you might have to fix, you know, the common issues if they haven't already been addressed. But overall, I would like to think this is a really, like, probably, at least in the used car market, if you don't want a car payment or something like that, this is one of the top 3 family vehicles you can still buy. If you, like I said, if it's just you and somebody else, or if you have at least 1 or 2 kids, you know, that are young, or even just having a secondary vehicle that's still a family vehicle for certain situations like the weather and stuff. This is just something that you can hop in, have zero issues in the back of your mind. Is this thing going to have this problem or something like that? As long as regular maintenance is taken care of, this thing will last forever. And the best thing about one of these 4Runners is you can just pass them down and they hold their value. So, you know, 10 years from now, I bet these things will be worth a lot more money than it is in 2025. If you don't believe me, go on Marketplace, type in 3rd gen 4Runner, and if you find a clean one that hasn't been really modded or modded whatsoever, they're going to at least be over 7 to 8K asking price. And like I said, this, like those old Subaru commercials you would see, from what I remember, it's like the Subaru was passed down in the family. It had like 400,000 or 500,000 miles. This is exactly that. This is that commercial, the Toyota 4Runner, the 3rd gen. you can rack up the miles on this and still have the original transmission and engine. So, you know, so I hope that opinion helps. This is obviously biased because it's my opinion, but you know what? That's going to do it for this video, guys. I just kind of wanted to cover that topic that I've seen a lot of people, you know, trending on YouTube, I guess, if the algorithm or something. So I thought I'd, you know, hop in and give my thoughts on it. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe for future content. Give this video a thumbs up, and I will catch y'all in the next video. Have a good one.